Minority thinks the judge has shown judicial irresponsibility.
Very irresponsible on the part of the minority.
But you know that it's politics they are doing.
True.
And so the politics, parliament is politicians and they are doing politics. So it's expected. As rightly cited, what happened when Jechikweche came? My MPP was insisting that Jechikweche should never step in parliament, right? Back and forth, Bagmin ruling, the man must back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing that they did to Jechikweche is what NDC is also doing to Nindam. So it is politics. It's not a matter of law. It's a matter of politics. Do you understand it? So for me, sometimes some of these things, I think we waste our times on these issues too much because it is they know that what they are asking for or they are saying really they shouldn't ask for it, but they will because you have done it to me and I must also do it to you. You do me, I do you democracy. That is what happens, and that's what is happening in this case. Look at and you see this case should not even the NDC should not even bother to even call for this because look at the Jechikweche case. Assuming Jechikweche was asked to stay out of parliament for 9 months before the Supreme Court determined, what would have been happening to the constituency he's supposed to be representing? Because I mean that it cannot be determined. ETC cannot hold an election. So it means that the Asin North, Asin South or Asin Central,
Asin North,
they would have been with that an MP for 9 months, before the Supreme Court would have made a pronouncement. Okay, why should that be the case? Because you can't hold an election because the court has not decided. EC cannot go and hold any election. So you say because there's an appeal and the appeal is taking 9 months, the people should not have a representative in parliament. I think it's incongruous. And I think that Jechikweche's case should tell us that no matter what it is, during the appeal until a final determination, the person will be allowed to do his work as a parliamentarian. When the final determination is made and there has to be another election, then the EC fixes a date for it to be done. But whilst the appeal is going, I don't think that the person should be prevented. Because as until the appeal is determined, the decision of the electoral commissioner, that is the person who has won, stays. That to me, that is it. So you shouldn't prevent the person from doing his or her work. But when the final decision is made and it's okay, now EC must go ahead and do an election. Then from that day that decision is made, the person stays away until an election is done. Because look at the Supreme Court even said that yes, he actually didn't tell the truth to the EC, and therefore there should be a re-election conducted. He wasn't incarcerated.
No.
He went back and won it again. And he still came back to parliament to represent the people. So for me, I think some of these things, we should look at it carefully. And you see, as Ibrahim pointed out, somebody has come to court and says, I think 41 police stations have issues with it. Probably presented evidence based on the 41. The remaining, because what evidence were presented about the remaining electoral areas that we are annulling their results as well. There is no evidence that anything has happened. The person is conjecturing that because I found this in 41, it is my assumption that similar things happen. We are told that the court deals with evidence.
Yeah.
So the remaining electoral areas that the court has annulled and said there should be an entire rerun. What evidence was before the judge to prove that those constituencies, those electoral areas also had similar challenges? So for me, I have problem with the ruling, especially if the person did not go with any evidence with the remaining electoral areas.
But the impact of the results of the 41 on the overall election.
That is not what the judge has said.
But that's the relief the
that is not the ruling. Did the judge tell us that based on A, B, C, D, they have done KPMs have to count
he says extensive irregularities.
Why is it? It is 41. The remaining, the people who went to court did not present any evidence about the remaining electoral areas. We are told that the court is a place for evidence. So I come and said, this 41, I have issues. I presented my pink sheet or whatever, and we are dealing with 41. And then all of a sudden, we are annulling the remaining areas where there's no evidence.
But I come to you with evidence on 41, and I believe that the evidence I have on the 41 has a general impact on the entire thing.
What evidence? The evidence is in court that the 41 is where you have presented something to the court. When the Supreme Court was in the election petition, we were told that the primary records of an election is what? The pink sheet. And we also...
That is the same issue in this particular one.
To come and count the pink sheets that the NPP brought to court and say, these ones have issues, right? So for me, I don't see why a judge will take such a decision, because we've seen it in the past. We said even in the presidential elections, we have to go and run only certain police stations in time. We didn't run the entire time constituency. We only run certain police stations that we think there were issues with. So why is that even in the presidential election where we even determine who will be the president of Ghana? It is only certain areas that it is proven that something went wrong. The area that it is proven that nothing went wrong, nobody said we should go and rerun the elections over there. So I don't really get the ruling. Is the ruling saying that based on the 41, they have determined that the candidates, the NDC candidate won the 41 with more votes, and then if you tally, it means that he has won the seat. Then they should have declared him a winner. Then if that's their position, they should have declared him a winner. I take a cue from the Supreme Court ruling, as I said, on election petitions. And this case was dismissed by the court because they didn't even go to court with any pink sheets. But the MPP who went with pink, we also saw it when KPMG was asked to come and count, so that we know that which one are the rightful pink sheets. And then they did the counting and they presented their report to the court. And the court, based on those counting, decided that if it is established that these are the actual pink sheets and this and that, and they took their decisions. So I think that, see, we shouldn't let the courts be giving us certain decisions and then throwing all of us into situations where we are going there and be talking back and forth. If the judge has said based on the 41, the evidence is that there's a problem. And if you take the 41 out, probably the MPP candidate had not won based on the remaining votes from the remaining polling stations. And for that reason, there should be a rerun. Then that will be another issue. But if that's not the determination, they say they should go and rerun. I don't understand the basis for the rerun. I don't really understand. And as we are saying, maybe we are waiting for the judgment to come for us to see what the basis of the rerun is. And I think that we shouldn't let, you see, elections, I always say, is the most important event in our calendar for a whole 4 years. Because we are determining who goes to government and controls the nation's entire resources. So they are very important issues. So then the judgments are coming from courts about elections. Let's come up with judgment that set the kind of precedent that will clear the path for future elections. So that our elections will become stronger and better because court judgments have cleared the way on certain things. I believe that nobody will do what judicial has done, because the Supreme Court has clearly said that until the time you are filing, if your application for citizenship, dual citizenship is not dealt with and you file, the Supreme Court has said that you are against the law. So now nobody will say, oh, I put in my application, I'm yet to receive, but because the time is going, I can file and wait as and when the reply will come. The Supreme Court says you can't do that. At the time you are filing, you must be a Ghanaian citizen, and every documentation must have been completed that you denounce your foreign citizenship, and at that point that you are filing, you are actually a Ghanaian. And nobody will do that again, because the Supreme Court has set that ruling out, and it is clear. So I think that the courts should be helping clarify some of these things, and so that our elections in the future, people know that if you do this, you go to the court, this is what you are likely to get. If you do this, you go there. Then even the politicians themselves will stop running to court over frivolous issues when they know, because they know that there are rulings to show that if this is the issue you are taking to court, it will not favor you. If this is what you are taking to, it won't favor you. So I don't think that we should be coming back and forth. And as I said, as for what is happening in Parliament, then these people are doing it to MPP because they believe that
it was done to them.
People were every day were saying that the man shouldn't come to Parliament. So now that it's an MP, we must also do same. They can do their policy. But see, what the elements should also know that, you see, we are seeing through what they are doing. And then when we, the ordinary people, can see that this thing you are doing is pure politics, you see, we lose confidence in that, because we believe like you are not there to protect our interests. You are there to just do politicking. But we don't believe that we put them there to do politicking. We put them there to do serious work on our behalf. So when we are finding more of politicking over the actual work that we want them to go and do there, it makes the ordinary people to say that you are not there for our interest. Okay? Because if you are saying that the man should be out of Parliament, and the man, the appeal has not been decided, and as I said, the judicial it took all 9 months to determine. You are saying that the people of Kpandai should not have representatives until the appeal is determined. And you are calling yourself a member of Parliament, a representative of the people. Is that what you should be doing? So I think that Parliament should make it clear that, look, if the appeal is in place, the person should remain there and do his work. Okay? And then when the final decision comes and says there must be a rerun and there's no way the person can go and appeal again, then that's when the person leaves. Because the people must have a representative. Why did we complain about what happened to Sal? Why did we complain? You remember I was who was so gone. Isaac Amu and whatever.
It took 4 years.
The illegal can serve the 4 years term before the court decided. Because the court are not decided, so the person must serve, and the person has served until the court decided. And even that Isaac Amu case is there, and still we are asking people to leave Parliament. That Isaac Amu filed the case in court. The case took 4 years. The person who the electoral commission served the 4 years as a member of Parliament until the court decided that no, the person was not the rightful person, and then it was struck out. But she served the people's interest. She served the people's interest because they had a representative in Parliament. So assuming that as Kamu's case, they said, okay, the woman should not be in Parliament. And then 4 years before the court determined that the whole constituency will not have a representative for 4 years because the Supreme Court took 4 years to decide on the case. I think that these issues, we should just remember that Parliament is representation of the people. If there is issues about elections, and we all know that our courts are not going to make pronouncements in 2 months, in 3 months, let the person remain there. When the final determination comes and it is clear that the person cannot appeal that decision anymore, and there has to be a rerun of the elections, then the person can be stopped from going to Parliament.